Get ready for sports news and entertainment. All right here, your 7 minutes with Simmons starts right now.
The Ice Dogs get it done on home ice in their preseason opener. And in the GOJHL, 4 big-time games for us to review. Welcome back to the show, guys. Christian Simmons here, your host of 7 Minutes with Simmons. As always, really happy to have you guys here. Really happy to be in a position to watch a fantastic Niagara Ice Dogs game tonight. Flint Firebirds at the Meridian Center as Ryerson Edgar and Cole Murata do battle the 8th overall and the 10th overall picks in the 2025 Priority OHL selection. And what a night. You know, tough start for the Ice Dogs, 7 or 8 minutes into that game, and I don't think they got out of their own zone. Matt Humphreys, with one heck of a performance, stood on his head. And then in that second period, I think Chris Barch woke the boys up in the locker room. They came out firing on all cylinders. Great effort in that second period and in the third as well. And big shout out to William Lubomov. Came in about halfway through that game, anchored the crease and stood tall in between the pipes and registered a fantastic performance, earning him the second star. And for the Ice Dogs, Brady Wasselin up front was dominant tonight. And I'll be saying this on the Ice Dogs podcast. I'll be saying this on my own podcast. He looks good, all right? And, you know, the shot looks great. I loved the way he was buzzing around, got injured earlier in that game as well, played through the injury, and was really a presence for the Niagara Ice Dogs, and even more so than, you know, some of their other bigger guys. And I like what I see out of Wazzy here in the early going. I think he's going to have a big year, but let's move on. You know, we're going to try and hit the 7-minute marker today. It is something that we haven't done in, I think it's like 4 episodes now. I'm over the time on every single one of them, and then we'll take a look. But today, we're going to go through the GOJHL sked from last night, Saturday, August 30th. We'll run it through. We'll see, you know, who played well, who didn't. Stratford was in action. They lost, interestingly enough. Crazy news that the Warriors would fall after their 2 early games here in the preseason where they absolutely, you know, they didn't just tread water. They absolutely, they created a tsunami. And, you know, absolutely dominated those 2 games. But, you know, taking a look here, yeah, let's look at these episodes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 episodes in a row. I'm over 7 minutes. Actually, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Because the last one, I was 7 minutes and 8 seconds. That's the closest I've gotten in the last, 12 episodes. The next closest would be 7:24. Then it's 7:58. Then we go up to 8:41 and 10 minutes. So we're going to try. I'm going to try to be right on today. That means I'm wrapping up at about 6.5 minutes. So, you know, this is why I need a producer, because I am a train wreck. Anyways, let's dive into the GOJHL results last night, Saturday, August 30th. And I guess we'll start with Stratford since, you know, I just can't stop talking about him. How about this one? Interesting, to say the least. Stratford goes up 2 in the first 2 periods. In the third, they score following St. Mary's. You know, St. Mary's comes out in that third period. They put one up on the board. It's 2-1. All right, then Kukin scores in that third period, and then it's 3 in a row from St. Mary's. They come all the way back to beat the Stratford Warriors at home at the Pyramid Rec Complex. 36-25, the shot St. Mary's still gets it done. 4 goals in that third period. Colebrook with 2. Headlining that team, that's Devin Colebrook from the York Simcoe Express. Played there last season. Prior to that, played for the North Central Predators. 2007-born player making his debut here in the GOJHL. And looking good already. 2 goals in that third period. A big part of that victory for St. Mary's as they even it up at 1-1. And for Stratford, they'll fall for the first time in the preseason. It's a 2-1 record for them. Can't help but notice the big boy wasn't on the score sheet as the I guess you could say the anchor for the Stratford Warriors over the last couple of days, Jonas Schmidt, not on the score sheet. It'll stay at 10 points in 3 games. Still one heck of a rate of production, but nothing from him on the score sheet as we move on here to London, Ontario in the Western Fair Sports Complex. The Nationals get it done on home ice, 3-2 there. Austin Pomerleau with 1 in the second just edges them out over the Kamoka Kings. The shots actually in Kamoka's favor, and it's 34-28 there. Nathaniel Adams gets on the board as well as Cole McNamara, and the Kamoka Kings up 2 in that first period. And London gets their 3 in the second, no score in the third, and it's a 3-2 victory for the London Nationals. Heading to St. Catharines, the Ridley College Tigers get it done in overtime. An interesting one there. It's Van Gerhan in that overtime period. Buries one. How about that? Tied after the first, still deadlocked after the second. Both teams putting one up in the third, deadlocked right through. Nobody won a single period. It was literally even throughout that entire game. 48 shots on net for the Ridley College Tigers. Impressive there. Lots of power play, so it makes sense. They had 8 chances on the man advantage, capitalized on 1 of them. I don't know if the coaching staff is going to be too happy about that. Not exactly a fantastic power play percentage, but nonetheless, they get 1 on the man advantage, and 1 more than the Brantford Titans had. They went 0 for 1 on the power play, and I guess that's a wrap in St. Catharines. The Ridley College Tigers get it done. 3-2 over the Titans as Brantford continues to struggle here in the early going. And then in Caledonia, the Corvairs fall to the Pelham Panthers on a roll, this team from Pelham. 2 goals in that first, another one in the third for 3 on 35 shots, 3 for 5 on the power play. Tyler Lee gets on the board. 11 seconds to go in that third period. He breaks the tie. Talk about a dagger and a heartbreaker from the Pelham Panthers. They get it done for their 4th straight victory of the preseason. Caledonia back to the drawing board. 44 shots. Absolutely stoned at the Haldeman County Community Complex. That's going to do it for this episode of 7 Minutes with Simmons. Thanks, guys, for tuning in and bearing with, once again, an episode that ran longer than it should. Nevertheless, happy to have you here. Happy to recap GOJHL performances on Saturday night. Tune in tomorrow. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All of it totally free of charge. I won't hold it against you if you don't, but I'd appreciate it if you did. We'll see you next time. Peace.